Today I have such an easy tutorial to share with you. It's so beginner friendly. The only stitch you need to know how to make is double crochet. I was making a bunch of bandanas for myself because in summer and going into fall I like to wear bandanas a lot, especially when the bangs aren't working. I just throw a bandana on instead and it's great. So I was making a few more to add to my collection and I was realizing just how adorable this pattern is. So I decided I'd hop in here really quickly and give you just this like 5-minute video on how to make these bandanas. So I hope you enjoy, and here is the tutorial. I actually found this gorgeous blue yarn here at the thrift store for about 50 cents, which was such a deal, so I had to pick it up. And I'm going to be using this today to make our head wrap or our bandana. You definitely want to be using a bigger sized hook than what is standard for the yarn that you're using. So I'm going all the way up to a 6mm size, and we're going to use this yarn today. So for this tutorial, we're just going to start by casting onto our hook. And now we're going to begin by chaining 3. So 1, 2, 3. And those 2 last chains here are going to act as our first double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over and place 2 double crochets into the very first chain here. So inserting my hook into that first chain, I am placing 2 double crochets. There's 1. And 2. And now if we count those 2 chains here on the side, then we have 3 double crochets because we're considering those 2 chains to be a double crochet. And this is the very bottom or the tip of the bandana. And now we're going to slowly just make it wider and bigger until it can fit around your head. So we're going to go ahead and chain 2 to start our next row. I'm going to yarn over, turn my work, and now into this very first stitch here, I'm going to insert my hook and place 1 double crochet. So again, because we have that chain 2 section, that actually makes up 2 double crochets because we count the chain 2 as a double crochet. I'm then going to chain 1, and now into our last stitch here, I'm going to insert my hook to the last stitch of the row, and we're going to place 2 double crochets into that 1 stitch. So there's 1, and then yarn over and place another double crochet into the exact same stitch. We're then going to chain 2, turn your work, and now into that very first stitch I'm going to place a double crochet, which again with that chain 2 we have 2 double crochets. I'm then going to chain 1 and place 3 double crochets into this open section that we've now made where we have that chain 1 from the previous row. I'm inserting my hook into that section and placing 3 double crochets. And I'm keeping my tension very loose as I do this so that the bandana has that loose, airy, light look to it. So there's 3 double crochets. And again, I'm going to chain 1, yarn over, inserting my hook into that very last stitch. I'm then going to place 2 double crochets into the same stitch. Now we'll do another row, so we're going to go ahead and chain 2, turn your work, into that very first stitch we're placing a double crochet, chain 1, and now into this gap here where we had our chain 1 in the previous row, I'm inserting my hook and we're going to place 3 double crochets into that section. So there's 1, 2, and 3 double crochets. I'm then going to chain 1, and now we have 2 sections because in that row before we ended up chaining 1 twice. So now into this next section I'm going to insert my hook and we're going to place 3 double crochets into that section. Again, keeping my tension very loose. 2 and 3, and now to finish off the row we're going to chain 1, and into that very last stitch I'm going to insert my hook and we're going to place 2 double crochets into that one last stitch, like so. We're then going to chain 2 and turn our work. And now you're just going to be following the exact same process over and over and over again until you've made the triangle wide enough that you can tie it comfortably around your head. You can already see that this triangle is getting a lot bigger just in those last 3 rows or so that we did. You could probably whip this out in less than an hour. Just watch one of your favorite YouTube videos, listen to some music, have a grand old time making this bandana. And I'm going to go ahead and do the next several rows until this is the size I want it to be. Okay, I have now done enough rows that we have a fully completed triangle that I can tie around my head and it fits me just the way I want it to. So now I'm going to go ahead and cast off. So I'm just going to cut my yarn like so. And now I'm going to thread the tail of my yarn through the loop that we have of this last stitch. So I'm threading that through and then pulling it tight to lock it in place. And now we only have 2 loose ends on this project, which is so nice. I feel like everything I make lately has so many ends to weave in. So this is just a refreshing little break from that. So I'm going to go ahead and thread my needle with this first string here. And now I'm just going to weave this yarn through these stitches a couple times, going back and forth. And I'm just going back and forth a couple of times here in order to really lock that yarn in place. And then I'm going to thread my needle with the second strand of yarn here and do the exact same thing with this one. And that is honestly all there is to it. So now you can go ahead and enjoy your completed bandana and make so many more of these. Once you start making these, it is hard to stop. So there you go. I already have the yarn picked out to make like at least 5 more of these, so I'm going to be making these bandanas for a while. But thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for giving this video a like and for subscribing if you did so, and if not, thank you for just being here and supporting me. Feel free to leave a comment down below. I always love talking to you guys. If you have any requests of patterns you'd like me to make, then also put that in the comments. I've been seeing all the other projects you've been making and posting to your Instagram or sending to me in my DMs. So again, if you make this project and you want to share it with me, I would love to see how it turns out. So feel free to tag me on Instagram or send it to my DMs if you don't want to post it. Have a great rest of your summer and have a great beginning of your fall. If you're going back to school, good luck. Okay, I'll see you later. Bye.